I promised to show you the 5 Christmas cards that I selected to get printed this year. And here they are. This is a red berry wreath, a snowy winter scene, a little deer, a very cute little mouse. I think his nose is a bit large, and maybe his ears, I don't know, but he's pretty cute. Some simple pine cones, and a lovely Christmas tree. So there they are, 5 of them. There's one of each of those in each pack, and I got 30 packs printed, and I've already sold 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that right? Yes, 8. So they're going to go fast. But this was a good choice, so I may do this every year. Hello, everybody. This is Mary Catherine, and I am at My Own Little House. That's my channel name. And today's video is a little knitting video where I am going to look at making a picot border with knitting instead of crochet. And it's also a bind off, so you get to do your picot and your bind off at the same time. And I've got quite a selection of these mittens, these fingerless gloves that I've made. I have some with just very short fingers, and some that are super chunky. Others that have yarn over pattern in the middle, and a lot of different things. Some are thicker and some are thinner. And then I've got this pair that I made with some yarn I got at Dollar Tree for like $1.25, and they have this interesting knitted picot border bind off. So there it is. I'm still trying to figure out what I think about this border, because it is the picot is kind of big, like it's real chunky. It's very crenellated, sticks way up. But we'll talk about that when I show you how I'm doing this. So I'm making a pair of mittens for myself. And I finished the first one, but I haven't sewn it together yet. And so there's its picot border. And I'm going to do the second one, and I'm going to bring you in a little closer, and we're going to see how this is done. It's really super easy. I'll put a link to the video that I watched if you want to watch her instead of me. That might even be better. Okay, but let's see how this goes. And maybe you can try it if you don't want to do, I like knitted work, and I was doing knitted items with a crochet picot edge. And I thought, why am I switching to crochet? Surely I can do this with my knitting needles. And sure enough, I could do it and bind off at the same time. Isn't that great? It's very convenient. So let's look at how it's done. All right, now, as I'm filming this, it is upside down. I'm hoping I can just flip this in my editing software easily. So this is a very nice yarn. It's a Lion brand. It's called Heartland. It is acrylic. It's a number 4 weight, very standard, soft. It's kind of what I wanted. Nothing too chunky. These are my old mittens I've been wearing. These were, I think I've showed you these before. These were crocheted. They're just really thick and chunky. And I wanted something a little more fitting to my hand. Okay. So this is the very last row. This is a knit row, okay? This is going to be my bind off. And let me show you what we do here. In order to make the picot, you have to add some stitches. And it was fascinating to me how the girl did it. You knit a stitch here at the very end. You can tug it a little bit. And then instead of slipping it off either needle, you take it from your right hand needle and slip that stitch directly back onto your first needle over here, your left needle. And then for this, I hate to call it a crenellation, but that's kind of what it looks like to me. For this picot, you do a second one. So this is how she makes new stitches. I don't think I'd seen this method before. And you slip that one on there too, okay? So here was my first stitch, and now I've added 2. Now, I think if I only added 1, my picot would be just a little teeny bump up and not quite so pronounced. But because I've already done the other one, I'm going to stick with this. Now you're going to go and start I'm sorry, I've got paint in my fingernails, and my fingernails are rough looking anyway. Okay, I'm going to go really slowly. Now you're going to start your bind off. So I'm going to knit that last one I just put on and knit the next one, and then loop that one over. If you know how to bind off, this will feel familiar. And then, oh, looks like I have a cat hair in there. And then bind off. So I just added 2 stitches and then I just bound them off. And so you get this little nubby thing. Let me just slip that off there for now. Okay. You get this little nubby thing. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bind off 2 stitches without doing anything. Now the original video I watched, she only did 1 in between her picots. Man, that's driving me crazy. Yeah, take that out of there. I wanted more distance between my little picot bumps. So now I've got some distance there. Okay. Can you see? So there's my first one, and it's sitting right on the edge. Okay. So now we're back at the beginning, except that we have a stitch on this needle. At the very beginning, we had nothing on this needle. So we have to take this stitch and slip it back over there. And so now we're kind of where we were at the beginning. And we're going to do what we did before. Add 1. Whoop. Add 2. Okay, so that's a knitted cast on, I think she calls it. And now we're going to do our picot. So knit 1, knit a second, pass that one to bind off, knit another, pass that to bind off, knit another, pass that to bind off, and a 4th. Pass that to bind off. Okay. Now you have 2 little nubbies. See them? So it's starting to look like a castle wall at the top. And then we're going to pass this stitch back over. Now I'm going to keep on doing that all the way across. And then I'll stitch up my mittens and show you what they look like. Okay, let me just do one more. I'm slower than she is on the video. I think I'm knitting too tight also. These knitted cast-ons are a little finicky. They're kind of slopey, but they do work. Okay, so now I just cast on 2 to add my picot, and now I'm going to bind those off. And now I'm going to bind off another 2. And now we have 3 little nubbies. Very fun. It's interesting, people have difficulty when they look at my mittens knowing which end to put in, to put their hand in. I often get them upside down. So if you have these this picot border at the top, and also the extra thumb coverage helps too. That shows them how to put it on. It does help some, so I'm hoping that that'll make a difference. That's 2. 3, 4, and slip this one back over. So there you go. So it really doesn't take very long to get across here, and it gives you a nice finish. Okay. Well, thanks for watching. I'll bring you back. Okay, see what we think. Again, I feel like the Picot is a little too big and floppy. Actually, it looks pretty good there. Isn't that fun? Interesting. See, I think this hand turned out better than this on the Picot. This is the one that I did when I was showing y'all. Maybe I was more nervous. I don't know. Yeah, I think they're super cute though. And do they keep your hands warm? Yes. Do they keep your fingers warm? No, of course they don't. But they're really, like at the market, they're so useful because I have to be doing stuff at the market. I have to be taking people's money and writing things down and sorting through stuff. And so it's very useful for keeping as much of your hands warm as you can while keeping your fingers free, because you need your fingers. So if you're typing or if you're texting or if you're doing anything with your fingers, but you need to have a little bit of glove action. There you go. All right. Yeah, and usually I would have my coat up there. These are so much prettier than the ones I've been wearing, which are really ugly. All right. Thanks so much for joining me, friends, for a little bit of knitting. I'm so busy at the market between now and about the 16th that I'm not going to get to spinning and that kind of stuff. But in January, when I'm back from my Christmas break and seeing my children and grandchildren, I plan to get back into spinning and working with fiber. I'm looking forward to that very much. I want to get all of the fiber out and all of the homespun out and find out what I have. And I would like to use the winter to work on that brown sweater. Oh, I really hope so. See you next time. Bye-bye. I recently discovered this thing that you can find in the spice aisle at the grocery store. This was at Walmart. It's called avocado toast, and it's the sprinkly stuff on here. This is just wheat toast with a little butter and a straight avocado spread on top of there. And then that sprinkle stuff just transforms it into something absolutely wonderful. I'll have to share a little picture on here of what the container looks like. It's great. You should give it a try. Stripy cat, spotty cat, stretchy cat.